Script Audio presents Bicycle Race, Transportation, Culture, and Resistance by Adonia Lugo, Ph.D. Read for you by Melissa Medina. Part 1. Transportation and Race in Southern California. Introduction. What does race have to do with bicycling? Jose Humberto Barranco was biking home from work on the sidewalk of a suburban road early one October morning in 2007 when an intoxicated young woman hopped the curb in her car and struck him. I read in the local paper that he had been a busboy at a nearby Denny's for 7 years. I knew the winding street he had been biking down because it leads to San Juan Capistrano, my hometown. I had walked its length many times and passed along it in a car even more. I knew the spots where curves made it hard to keep driving at the 45-mile-per-hour speed limit, even though the other drivers behind you were not slowing down. I read about this man's death at a moment of static in my life, when Southern California's car culture was shouting over the reduce your carbon footprint norms I'd adopted during my college years in Portland, Oregon. I had recently returned to Southern California to start graduate school, and my boyfriend and I had chosen Long Beach as our home base during my first year of graduate school at UC Irvine because the regular street grid and neighborhood hubs reminded us of Portland. But in my new neighborhood, drivers quickly let me know that they didn't think my bike and I belonged on that road. Legally, I was in the right. Bicyclists can lawfully use travel lanes. Culturally, I was wrong. He who can travel fastest wins. What Jose Humberto Barranco's death said to me was that this wasn't just a matter of vehicle choice, bike versus cars. Race and class hierarchy were mixed up in how we traveled and whose safety mattered. Once I started trying to wrap my head around this tangle of race, place, and mobility, I realized that I'd known about it for a long time. I knew that Latinas and Latinos walked and biked around my hometown and region more than white residents did, and they were the ones who waited on corners for the infrequent Octa bus service. I knew that the racism in South Orange County created a palpable feeling of unwelcome for immigrants, and people insulated themselves from it by getting into private cars and off exposed sidewalks as soon as they could afford to. I knew that being inside a car was the safeguard everybody was striving toward, in part because suburban sprawl made long commutes the norm. Now I noticed that most of the bicycle users I saw in Southern California had something in common with the folks walking and riding the bus.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?